Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Space Monkey Mafia here, and today we are doing r/confessions. It is Monday, so my tank is my beta imbellis tank. I'm actually getting some new beta imbellis in pretty soon. They'll be going into the quarantine tanks, which will be empty by then. My pond is close to being done. Hopefully I get it done in time so I can move the rosy reds out and move the new imbellis in, but we'll see. I skip out on work a lot, but still get paid. I work out of my house for work. My territory is about a 120-mile radius around where I live. My boss lives on the other side of the country, and I've only met him twice. I've been with this company for over 10 years. My job is to keep all of the equipment we have at customer sites running, service the machines when they break, and install new systems. For the last 5 years, I've been working very little. There are weeks when I don't visit any customers. I will drive around for 1 or 2 days just to put some miles on my company truck so it looks like I'm going out. On average, I would say I actually work 1 or 2 days a week for maybe 4 hours each day. The other days I hang out at home during work. I get paid for a full 40-hour week. My customers all have my number, so if they need service, they'll call me. Not sure if I should feel guilty since my territory is running fine and no customers are complaining. I think my only issue with this would be if the company pays for gas, because then he's just kind of wasting it, you know? But other than that, I don't think there's really anything wrong with this, not inherently anyway. When my boyfriend's sister was addicted to prescription meds, I filled up one of my old bottles with laxatives for her to find. I was tired of her family acting like it was okay for her to steal from me and then treat me like a villain for reacting. I was tired of her constant lying. I was tired of all her drama. I was taking meds for mild anxiety that I caught her trying to take out of my bag once, so I switched them with laxatives for the next time and pretended not to notice her slip them out of my bag again. She left soon after, so I don't know how many she took or what happened, but I'm sure it was vile. My boyfriend and his family don't know I did that. Okay, so addicted to prescription meds and stealing them, that is a big, big issue. Personally, I don't know what the situation is. Involving law enforcement is not a bad idea. Switching them with laxatives, I mean, you can't get in trouble for that technically. I feel like people do that way too much. Like, laxatives can actually have seriously bad effects on people, like way more than you'd expect. Like, if someone's already dehydrated, like, it's happened. People have died from, like, laxative pranks and stuff. So, don't overuse that. Don't give people laxatives. You don't know their medical history. You have no idea what's going to happen. And yeah, okay, the person didn't give them to her. She should not have been doing that in the first place. I don't condone that behavior in any way, shape, or form. It's absolutely ridiculous and disgusting. But she should have confronted her. She should have involved an authority figure. She should have done something else. I hurt my cat. I got my cat when I was like 3, and back then it was still considered okay to have your cat declawed. She was destroying some of the furniture, and being that I was so young, my mom didn't want her scratching me or my twin sister or my brother, 6 years old at the time. Since she is technically my cat, my mom told me either her claws go or she goes. I really didn't want her declawed, but being that I was 3 and didn't truly understand animal cruelty, I agreed to let her get declawed. Now that I know it's cruel, anytime I see a cat that still has its claws, I feel guilty. Like I harmed my cat because I was too selfish to give her to a family that would allow her to keep her claws. Okay, 3? 3? Are we serious? Are we making 3-year-olds make these kinds of decisions? A, that is just ridiculous. B, if the cat was young, it's not going to have a serious bad effect for more than a couple of weeks. Because declawing, it's removing part of the toe, so it is a painful surgery. It's painful for the cat to walk for a while, but it's better than them being on the streets, you know? Claws are a defensive measure. They'll lose part of their balance and ability to that kind of stuff after being declawed. But if you have an indoor cat, a purely indoor cat, and you are very careful and never let it out, in my opinion, it is okay to get declawed because it is better than it being a stray, if that is the other option, if that's the alternative, or if you're giving it to the pound, because the kill rates in those are ridiculous. I lied about Herobrine and destroyed my little brother's Minecraft world. I don't know why I feel so bad about this, and it's been about 5 years, but I told my little brother that Herobrine was real and he was in my world. I then continued to change my Minecraft name to Herobrine and join his world and kill all his animals and his dogs and burn his house down. He cried for a long time and threw his iPod Touch across the room and buried himself under his blankets crying, and I felt really bad. I still feel really bad because for 6 or 7 years old, his world was pretty cool. After that, he had cried himself out and fell asleep, so I took his iPod and made him a really cool house as an apology, and I never told him I did any of it. But when he woke up, he went on Minecraft and looked at the new world I had made, and he showed it to me and said it was really cool, and I told him that maybe Herobrine was sorry and he was really happy. Okay, so this one, This is the kind of stuff that bothers me. Honestly, it's like this level of thing. Oh man, it's so sweet that this person still feels bad about that. Like that, that's gotta be a good person. Oh my gosh. It's pretty funny too. Oh man. I did this prank to my brother. I know I did, and my friends. Because that was like the big thing for a while. But what I did is I was smarter than this. I changed my Minecraft name, and I got one of those little downloaded skins. I didn't do anything. I would like destroy some dirt and then just leave, and my brother would come screaming out of his room. But like, that was about it. That was pretty funny though. I stabbed a girl in the eye in middle school with a pencil. In the 7th grade, I took my first and only gym class. I'm athletic, but the teacher was absolutely useless, so I didn't enjoy this class. At the beginning of each class, we had to do a do now, which consisted of a paper with some question reviewing the current unit. The girls in the class were unbearable and loud, but on a particular day they were worse than they'd ever been before. A girl, who we shall call B, approached me wanting answers to the do now. I told her, paraphrasing, no, and to get away from me. Her friend sitting across from me laughed. This made B embarrassed. She didn't leave, so I got up and told her jokingly, before I stab you. She laughed and kept following me around the gym. I went over to the other girl and said, see this? See how annoying she is? B then lunged at me and I playfully swung the pencil around. We then turned in our do nows, talking until a girl came up to B and said, your eye's bleeding, B. The look of horror on her face was priceless. She started crying and getting loud. So in fear for my school record, I rushed her into the locker room. She was bawling. I kept attempting to shut her up before she attracted the attention of the gym teacher. I told her I would walk her to the nurse and that if she told anybody I did it, I would stab her again, more severely this time. She immediately shut up and we walked out of the locker room. I asked the nurse for a pass and we walked down the hallway to the nurse. I waited for a while. The nurse asked what happened, and B replied with a lame excuse that she ran into the door. I walked off and continued my life. I can't say that I feel too bad about it considering she's unbearably annoying, but I had to get that off my chest. Okay, there's something wrong with this person. They've got some kind of deep-seated mental issues. Maybe home life isn't good, but like, what the heck? You stab someone, you see that they're terrified, that they're bleeding, and you're like, ha, the look on her face, priceless. No, there's something wrong with you if that is your thought process. If you harm someone and you think it's funny, that is a very, very bad sign, and you need to go sign yourself up to see a therapist. In addition, just threatening to stab her more, like, just because she's annoying, that doesn't mean anything. She's not being intentionally malicious, unlike the person who stabbed her. Like, stabbed her, come on. Yeah, it's a pencil, granted, but, like, pencils can hurt people. I mean, my sister's been sent home from accidentally stabbing herself in the leg with a pencil. Like, if you will poke someone's eye out. This dude almost poked her eye out and then threatened to stab her more. Like, no, don't do that. Fake inhaler at music festivals. Whenever I am at a music festival, I yell at the top of my lungs, I have my friend's inhaler, let me pass, and make my way through the crowd to the front row every time. Oh my gosh, don't do this. No, it's funny. It's also pretty bad, and maybe we should not be and maybe we should not be doing that. I hate when people say, my art looks so bad, in the caption of their pictures. It just makes me think that they're attention seeking. I feel bad though, because maybe they just do it because no one acknowledges them enough. Yeah, I get this. I get this kind of thing can be pretty annoying if you know the person's doing it for attention, but you also have to take into consideration that there is a chance that someone has just been telling them that's terrible, someone at home, a sibling, a parent or something, and they legitimately think it's not good, or they're just hedging, just like afraid of all the criticism that they may get. It's annoying, but it's not a malicious thing. I think it's fine. When I was 12 years old, I lit your house on fire. I was a pyro. I found matches on the sidewalk and couldn't resist. I lit one. Then I took that lit match to the whole book of matches and lit that. Before I could get burned, I took the flame and dropped it onto a cardboard box that was littered on the sidewalk, thinking it would go out in the wind on its way down from my hand to the box, and I walked away. The flame didn't go out, and it ignited the box, which was leaning against your wooden fence. Your fence lit up like Christmas time. It was slowly making its way to your house, taking out the dead bush on its way. The friend I was with happened to look back and saw all the fire, so we ran to your door. You finally woke up after banging on your door right before things got really, really bad. When the cops came, said friend, since I was 3, I've been mortified of cops, so I let her do the talking, lied about what happened. I couldn't lie, so I jumped in and explained exactly what I had just explained, and they let her walk home and took me downtown in the back of a cruiser. Thank you, lady, for not pressing charges and letting me live a normal life, rather than one of a delinquent. Said friend also went on to become a delinquent. Also, rest in peace to said friend. Yikes, that whole story is just 12. Like, oh my goodness. Just to think that someone's entire way of life almost ended when they were 12 because of like a little mistake they made. Because granted, okay, don't play with matches, but they didn't mean to do anything. Oh, that would just been terrible. That would have been so awful. Goodness. This one ends well, so we're gonna finish with this one. Somebody just punched a hole in my lobby's wall. My parents went away and I threw a party for whatever reason, and now there is throw up everywhere and broken glass, and to top it off, there is a hole in my building's wall. I've never been more anxious and messed up. Like, this is bad. I don't know how I'm going to explain this to my parents, but I'm screwed. Edit. My grandma lives in the building and saw the hole. I told her everything and she was weirdly understanding for an old German lady, but whatever. My mom called and said it's not a big deal and they'll fix it. But my dad doesn't know yet, lol. I honestly wish they were harsher on me because I feel bad, but whatever. Edit. Parents came home. I told them everything right off the bat, and my dad was surprisingly chill. Mom was extremely angry, which is very warranted. I cleaned the whole house at 3 a.m., so it's mostly just the giant gaping hole in the drywall, which I'm going to fix today. Moral of the story. Don't throw parties if you're too scared to turn random people away. Oh man, at least it ended well. They got good parents, they made a mistake. Don't throw parties. It's not worth it, honestly. Like, the amount you would have to clean up is ridiculous, and you have to turn away so many people. Also, speaking from experience, old German ladies are actually pretty understanding most of the time. And that about wraps up the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. I'll get a little YouTube stuff. I hope you guys did like it though, and I'll catch you back here tomorrow. Bye.